Hello, family, friends, and community. Pastor Rob here, and it's Wednesday, June the 2nd. We are in a new series this week called Counterfeit, looking at the ways money, sex, and power can get twisted or rearranged in our hearts instead of really finding ultimate hope and love in God as we follow Him and obey Him. So yesterday, if you missed it, we actually looked at one of the most unusual stories in the Bible, in Genesis, of a man named Jacob who's deeply in love, works 7 years to get the hand of Rachel in marriage, only to be tricked the wedding night, and he ends up marrying the older sister. And the father-in-law says, "Well, even though I promised Rachel, our custom is the oldest has to get married first." So he marries, he sleeps with Leah, but then eventually he gets Rachel, and he still works another 7 years. That was yesterday, and we looked at how the natural good desire of passion, of sexual desire to be together with a spouse can get sometimes become its own idol. And Jacob had to learn to deal with that way of dealing with a good thing in itself. But now the story continues. And we're in Genesis 29, starting in verse 31. Here's what it says. When the Lord saw that Leah was not loved, He enabled her to conceive, but Rachel remained childless. Leah became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She named him Reuben, for she said, "It is because the Lord has seen my misery. Surely my husband will love me now." She conceived again, and when she gave birth to a son, she said, "Because the Lord heard me, and I am not loved, He gave me this one too." And so she named him Simeon. Again she conceived, and when she gave birth to a son, she said, "Now at last my husband will become attached to me, because I have borne him 3 sons." So he was named Levi. She conceived again, and when she gave birth to a son, she said, "This time I will praise the Lord." So she named him Judah. Then she stopped having children. All right, so this drama continues because first it was the whole falling in love and the deal with Jacob and his desire for Rachel, but he has Leah too. He has 2 wives, which we know is part of the custom back then. And then Leah, who gets pregnant and has some sons, has some kids for Jacob, but Rachel, whom he deeply loves, is struggling with fertility. So, in this case, the contrast of Jacob trying to make things happen, where that desire for love and passion sort of outweighed his clear thinking and his trust in God. But then here, Leah is trying to almost let sexual union and the gift of kids make her husband love her. Like she's almost using it as a tool for her own sense of purpose and meaning. And obviously, anyone, if you've been in a place of dealing with fertility and heartache of this is, and whether even with a challenged marriage, these are deeply personal things. I hear you. I get that. So we drop in on this story, and now, eventually Rachel will get pregnant, and that's whole other story of Jacob and the whole continuity of the line to eventually the Messiah. But here he has a wife, Leah, who has 4 kids and still doesn't feel her husband's love. But notice what Leah does. It says, "This time I will praise the Lord." And then she stopped having children. In other words, Leah reached a place of trusting God. So here's again, as I said yesterday, these are places for us to commit our ways to the Lord. Sex is a real important issue in Scriptures. It's a gift of God. Sexuality is how we're made in the image of God. Marriage is a wonderful gift. And yet in the midst of all that, it has to, as a center point, be, Lord, I'm trusting you. I'm committing my way to you. Leah couldn't force Jacob to love her, even as much as he loved Rachel. So what did she do? She just had to trust God. And I don't know where you're at today, but maybe something in your heart is just stirring or weighing on you. It may have nothing to do with relationships or sex or family life. Maybe it's something totally different. Maybe it's a health issue, a work issue, a retirement issue, a getting through college issue, paying off debt issue. But But whatever it is, to know that while other stuff tries to steal away the focus of Jesus and provide a counterfeit, we want to come back to find true hope, true love, true significance in the Lord as we trust Him, as we obey Him. So may you be able to just commit your ways to Him today, whatever you're dealing with, and let Him meet you in that journey. Have a great day, friends. Love you all. We'll see you.